Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Business Podcast, your source for all things business. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, today I have Aggie DaSilva on the line, and he is CEO over at Leadership and Sales Academy. Aggie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so excited to get into today's topic. So leadership and sales in modern times. But before we get into that topic, I want to talk a little bit more about what you're doing over at Leadership and Sales Academy. Tell us a little bit more about the company, please.
Well, Leadership and Sales Academy was created or funded by a group of people that were, working in American corporations in different places, different positions. And I was the CEO for Thomas International for 25 years, covering the U.S. operation, all the Latin America. And then we decided, when I left Thomas, we decided to put something that were related to those two main subjects that we think would help people at this moment in the business world, where we think that this is more applicable, more, helpful, and something that people do need, which is related to the two subjects that are title of our company and that gave us the name, which is leadership, number one, and sales. And sometimes we even say leadership and sales because it's all very much related. So that's why we created this leadership company to do courses, training, assist companies and CEOs around the world, because we cover many countries around the globe, Latin America, especially Europe and everywhere. So that's what leadership is all about. It was created with that objective and with that mission of helping people, shaping the people, shaping the leaders of the 2020.
Oh, that's awesome. And excited to get into today's topic. So let's just jump right in. So leadership and sales in modern times. Where do you want to start with that one?
Well, when I started working on training and everything, I developed a concept that I said, what is to manage? Manage is to do what needs to be done on the right time in a correct way through other people. And leadership would be more like, doing the things that need to be done in the right time, in the correct way through other people because they love and because they're passionate about it. So one of the things people don't understand is what is to be a leader. Humanity, according to Max Paget, a very interesting, very important French psychologist, he said something quite interesting. He said that humanity suffered three major impacts. One was when Galileo Galilei said the Earth was not the center of the universe. And they almost burned the guy because of that. The second impact was when Darwin said that we came from the apes, was the evolution theory. And the third one was when Freud discovered that we have something called unconsciousness and that we have no control over it. So the moment you bring that to your conscious level is when you understand yourself better, is when you acquire your emotional intelligence. And what we do effectively is we help people in leadership positions, sometimes not exercising that leadership in a proper and correct way, but we show them how to do that, or what is the best way to do that. Because leadership nowadays is more serving the others than self-serving. People don't understand that. They just think that leadership is all about them. It's not. We have an unconscious tendency to be the center of the universe. Talking about center of the universe, of course, we have a tendency to be that center of the universe. So the proposal in leadership is get out of that center yourself and put the other in there. Make that other person more important. And that's exactly what the perspective is. You have to. The key word for leadership is empathy. Mm-hmm. And when you understand and when you put yourself in the other's position and you understand why that person is behaving that way or why is that person responding that way to any kind of circumstance or situation, and you adapt yourself to each one of the individuals, then you are a leader. You're becoming a leader. You're understanding how to become a leader, and it's serving the others more than self-serving, which is a very, very interesting concept in this modern world. Is the moment they understand that, they have given a major step to become a leader. And,
oh wow! So
good.
Aggie, so I mean, you've been in this business a long time. I mean, you've seen a lot of transition. You've seen us in different markets. You've seen, I mean, all the way going back to Thomas. I mean, you've been around for a while in the space. What do you think about? What do you think are some of the real changes that you're seeing, like right now, happen and just in modern times in general? Like, what kind of things are you seeing that you're like, oh, this is like what interests you, what excites you that you're like, oh man, this is really something new?
Well, what is new is a total review of that old concept that we had for more than 20 years now. This is changing. And successful people. I mean, right now we're going through this very difficult moment where you see who are the leaders out there, who is thinking about the others in this very difficult moment. So you see, these are the gestures and the changes in people's behavior when they have all the capability and the resources of helping the others is when people realize that it's a moment of change. It's a moment of dealing with people in a different way. And also, I think the major change that helps you get through that process is the access we have to all sorts of information. You know, internet has made an incredible change in the last 20 years or more, maybe 20, 25, but not as much in the last 15. That is changing human behavior as a whole. I mean, and considering this situation, companies will change, people will change, the world is changing, and I think this is a major impact in humanity as well. Probably Max Paget right now is considering a fourth impact when he mentioned the three impacts that really affected humanity. I would say this is another wave. This is another major impact. And I think humanity right now is in a moment of profound reflection of what does that mean, not only in their lives right now, but what does that mean for the future? I think life will never be the same from now on. I mean, the way people will work together, the way people will lead teams to success, the way people will be more serving others than self-serving. This is really and definitely going to change, because right now what is happening is interesting. It doesn't matter which social class you are or how rich you are or what is your position in life, but everybody is subject to the same kind of, opportunities, but also risks that life presents to ourselves. So I would say this is it's a fourth major impact if I use Max Paget's concept of humanity impact caused in the last three phases.
So Aggie, I know we barely touched the surface today, but we're about out of time on this episode. If somebody's listening to this and they want more information on Leadership and Sales Academy, I mean, what's the best way for them to reach out and learn more from you and your team?
Well, I think the first step is I don't mind. I receive a lot of calls and a lot of people who have conversation with me, so I don't mind being contacted directly. So instead of giving the company webpage, I would even give my email right there, because right on, because I don't mind. I talk to a lot of people, and I am a people person, and I enjoy talking to people. So I think you can send me an email. It's Aggie, AGGIE, at lsausa.net, and the Leadership and Sales Academy abbreviation, which is LSA, and it's lsausa.net, Aggie at lsausa.net. Just send me an email, drop me an email, and I'll certainly will be very pleased to, talk to anybody that wants to talk about that subject.
Fantastic. Well, Aggie, been great having you on the show today. Appreciate you coming on and sharing more about your background and all the great things that you're doing over at Leadership and Sales Academy. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Business, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. I mean, love to know what kind of things you're working on. And Aggie, thanks again for coming on the show.